It seems like this pink sauce situation is going to never come to a conclusion because every month more and more comes out about Chef P and her sauce. Whenever we talk about her, I'm always like, okay, this is the end. But it never is. This is truly a never-ending story, and the saga is continuing today with another update. Dave's Gourmet has come out once again to expand on their original statement, and this time, they've brought receipts. Chef P has also been active on her socials again, pretty much shitting Dave's every chance she gets, and even teasing a new product. It's a mess, so let's get into it. The last time we talked about the pink sauce, Dave's Gourmet was trying to clear their name after all the allegations Chef P was making both on TikTok and her GoFundMe. She had made a GoFundMe seeking $100,000 to help her afford rent, school supplies for her children, and to cover legal fees. She claimed that Dave's had stopped paying her, wasn't being honest about how much they owed her, and refused to reimburse her for marketing expenses. Dave's denied all these allegations, telling multiple different news outlets that they had actually paid her over $120,000 and continued to make any and all payments on time. Well, Chef P didn't agree with that. She posted a video to her YouTube channel and continued to claim that Dave's wasn't paying her and was even hiding things from her.
Well, first of all, I want to acknowledge this $120,000 that they've responded to the blog saying that they paid me. So number one, it wasn't an upfront payment of $120,000 straightforward. It was sent to me partially, but they were partial payments, and then also a huge chunk of that money went towards me paying for Airbnb and paying for hotels because, mind y'all, I was homeless for 6 months.
She noticed that her Q1 was paid to her before any expenses, whereas Q2 looked much different.
My royalty is supposed to be paid to me before any expenses. When I received my royalty for Q1, it was paid to me before any expenses. Now that I'm uncomfortable and they know that I would have been hiring legal help, they make this bogus excuse as to why they're putting expenses on top of my royalty. It does not work like that.
This is when Dave's was done being nice. They released this huge statement setting the record straight. They said not only did they cover the refunds that she owed to people from her original pink sauce she sold, which showed up to people's houses looking like this.
Oh my God. Look at this! It don't even say pink sauce on this. Oh my, it's gone. There's nothing else in here. Like, it's gone.
They also gave her multiple cash advances completely interest-free. She was allegedly going through all her money, then running to Dave's and saying how she was broke, so they would send her all these advances trying to help her out. That eventually led to Chef P trying to get Dave's to cover unrelated expenses like her grocery bills, shoes, dresses, and even a birthday party. They also explained why there was a huge difference with her Q1 royalty payment compared to Q2. It sounds like they took pity on her because with the advances deducted, her payment wouldn't have been enough to survive on, so they rolled it over to Q2, and that's when she saw the deductions. During the second quarter, when Dave's deducted what was owed to them, that's when Chef P got mad and requested that Dave's paid her for her time spent on marketing, which was never in the contract. That's where we left off last time, but since then, Dave's has come out with even more tea. They've gone back to their original statement and have added even more context and receipts, writing, February 2023, Shaw attempted to submit business expense reports for personal expenses like buying 4 pairs of sneakers or expensing her entire grocery bills. Dave's Gourmet informed her that such activities are fraudulent and asked a lot of questions related to receipts submitted. Shaw did not respond to any of those questions. And as you can see, Dave's attached a document full of receipts that Chef P tried to send to Dave's claiming business expenses, when really, they were her own personal grocery shopping bills and Foot Locker bills for personal use. They also added more context to the difference between the Q1 and Q2 payments, writing, May 2023. Due to the large advances on Shaw's royalty payment and the deduction of refunds covered by Dave's Gourmet related to the period prior to this agreement, the balance of milestone royalty payment owed to Shaw came to $666.86. Dave's Gourmet decided to hold off on deducting the $10,000 in advances from the royalties due until a later period so that Shaw would have more funds to cover her needs at the time, and instead paid Shaw $10,666.68. This balance and all payments processed have been outlined and communicated to Shaw consistently. Dave's Gourmet deducted the above-mentioned advances of $10,000 at the second quarter royalty payment. The quarter 2 royalty payment due was less than $10,000, so the net effect was that Shaw had a negative balance of $6,005.80 that she'd owed to Dave's Gourmet due to the previous advances taken. Contrary to Shaw's belief, both quarter 1 and quarter 2 royalty payments are calculated in exactly the same way. The only difference is the deduction of the advance for quarter 2. We clearly explained this deduction to Shaw in our email and offered to walk her and her attorney through the calculation. It sounds like Veronica expected Dave's to lend her all this money out of the goodness of their hearts and not expect it to be paid back. She's lucky enough that they weren't collecting interest on all of these loans. At the end of the day, this is a business. They didn't have to pay her in advance, and they told her that relying on royalties to live is risky, but clearly she didn't listen. They also covered Veronica suddenly asking for money for her time when being paid for time was never in the contract. They wrote, June 2023, Shaw submitted an expense report to Dave's Gourmet that included a request for payment for her time dedicated to making social media content since October 2022. 1,400 hours at $90 per hour in Shaw's invoice. Such request was outside of the terms of the agreement, as Shaw's compensation per agreement was through royalties, and there was no provision to compensate her at a per hour basis. This girl wanted $90 per hour for time spent working on her pink sauce. Like, I'm sorry, but I've been following Chef P since the start of all of this, and I haven't seen any kind of marketing or content worth $90 per hour from her. She makes a few TikToks here and there showing off the sauce, and so she should. Her money depends on how many people hear about the pink sauce and go out to Walmart to buy it. Asking to be paid an hourly rate on top of all of that is absolutely insane. They continued on writing, Dave's Gourmet has kept this timeline of information private until Shaw went to social media with defamatory statements regarding the integrity of our business, which has put us in an unfortunate position to share details that would have otherwise remained private. In total, Shaw has received $147,449.37 in payments from her partnership with Dave's Gourmet and Pink Sauce since August of 2022 to date. We initially told the journalist that she received more than $120,000 and now have tracked all the payments and are sharing the precise numbers with all the bank confirmations in this link. It is our understanding that Shaw probably spent about $10,000 of this amount to buy video recording equipment, props, clothes, and accessories that would be used to promote Pink Sauce, but we have not seen the receipts confirming this. Because of all the advances provided to Shaw, the funds sent to Shaw exceeded what she had earned under the terms of the agreement. In addition, Shaw had certain obligations in the agreement related to her social media activities that she has violated multiple times. Dave's Gourmet reminded Shaw multiple times that she needed to adhere to the terms of the agreement, but she ignored Dave's Gourmet's requests. After Shaw went to social media to create the illusion that she's not being compensated properly, Dave's Gourmet communicated to both Shaw and her attorney that Dave's Gourmet will cover the cost of Shaw's legal counsel to go through the provisions of the agreement and the payments to confirm that the payments were correct. And Dave's Gourmet is following the agreement because this is Shaw's legal counsel. We could not pay him directly, and that is why we proposed to reimburse Shaw for those expenses. This proposal was rejected by Shaw. So clearly Dave's has done more than enough to try and rectify this privately and professionally, but Chef P was not having it. Her GoFundMe has been left up with all of these allegations, and she somehow managed to raise over $25,000, with most of it being raised by NBA player Kyrie Irving. At this point, Dave's is just fed up with Chef P's actions online, and they've come out once again to set the record straight, writing, Dave's Gourmet consistent support of Shaw was rooted in our desire for a successful partnership. Our primary objective throughout this partnership was to ensure the successful commercialization of pink sauce while upholding our company's values of integrity, transparency, and commitment to our partners and customers. Unfortunately, despite Dave's Gourmet's continuous efforts to maintain the constructive relationship with Shaw, our efforts were met with recurrent challenges. In August 2023, we sent multiple messages to Shaw and her attorney suggesting creative ways to mitigate the issues and have an amicable working relationship. In return, we received a message from Shaw that Dave's Gourmet would need to pay her $1.5 million if we wanted to continue selling pink sauce. The current agreement in place is evergreen, and Dave's Gourmet does not need any special extension payments, renewals, or permissions from Shaw to continue selling pink sauce under the terms of the agreement. So Shaw's request was odd and did not make any sense. $1.5 million. For a sauce that could have made people sick, that Dave saved, brought back to life, got it into Walmart, and paid her more money than she was ever even owed. And she still has the audacity to ask Dave's for $1.5 million. Literally no words, and as if that wasn't bad enough, Dave still tried to work things out with her, and Chef P asked them for even more money for rent. Dave's wrote, on August 25th, Shaw notified Dave's Gourmet that she was being evicted from her apartment that weekend due to unpaid rent. Dave's Gourmet scheduled a call with Shaw and for approximately 2 hours discussed our proposal on how the relationship could work in the future. This proposal required Shaw to post the pink sauce related content on social media twice a week and included bi-weekly payments to Shaw to provide her with a stable level of income for a period of time. She agreed to the principle with Dave's Gourmet proposal, but wanted her attorney to finalize the details. Shaw then asked for assistance with her overdue rent. Dave's Gourmet wanted to be helpful, but hesitated given the prior history with Shaw. No kidding. Dave's Gourmet preferred to wait until the new agreement with Shaw was fully in place before providing any help. But that was not possible over the weekend since Shaw's attorney, just so happened, would need to be involved and was not available on the weekend. And by Monday, Shaw would have been evicted. Of course. In spirit of future cooperation and creating goodwill with Shaw, Dave's Gourmet took another chance on Shaw and paid off her past due rent, totaling $14,000. With this additional payment, the total funds sent to Shaw equal $161,449.37. That weekend and prevented her and her children from being evicted. Link to the confirmations. That backfired for Dave's Gourmet. No surprise here given the history. The following week, Dave's Gourmet sent a legal draft of our proposal discussed on the call with Shaw to her attorney. Shaw indicated that her attorney would come back to us, but he never did. In the meantime, we received another strange demand from Shaw for $250,000, and then she posted her recent video on social media with false accusations directed at Dave's Gourmet. None of them have any merit, and bear in mind, she posted this video shortly after Dave's Gourmet helped her and her children not get evicted. We received many messages from people encouraging us to sue Shaw for defamation. We are considering all options, including a lawsuit, but also are mindful of the distractions that it will cause for our organization and the difficulty of collecting any court-awarded damages from Shaw, given that she has spent all the funds. We are a family-owned business and our reputation is dear to us. We are asking for your support. Shaw's GoFundMe page containing false claims is still live. She lied there that she did not receive any payments, but now is admitting publicly that she has received over $120,000 in payments from Dave's Gourmet, just as we said. But GoFundMe has not taken action to remove Shaw's page where she is asking for funds under false pretenses. Please consider reporting the page or asking for a refund if you have donated. Kyrie Irving from Dallas Mavericks donated $24,000 to Shaw's GoFundMe campaign, probably without knowing the facts. We want other people to have factual information on this case prior to considering making a donation. We hope that people share the facts on social media about the sequence of events related to this matter so that Shaw can no longer spread misinformation about our company. Needless to say, we are very disappointed in the status of our partnership with Shaw, but we hope that you will still give us the opportunity to share our products with you. We have a huge selection of bold and flavor-packed hot sauces, pasta sauces, creamy hot sauces, olive oil oils, and more. Please give them a try, including pink sauce. You can see that it is being sold at a lower price at retail now. We worked hard to bring it to market, and despite our challenges with Shaw, we have multiple other partners that are relying on us to drive its commercialization. It has a unique taste and puts an interesting twist on salad, fries, and chicken tenders. At this time, we are unsure how long we will continue selling it and don't want you to miss your chance to try it. Clearly, Dave's has done every last thing that they could possibly do to try and save this business relationship with Chef P. More than I think any business would ever do, and that still wasn't enough. If everything Dave's is saying is true, it sounds like they were dealing with someone who is greedy and has no idea how business works. Dave's Gourmet saved the sauce and gave her a deal that most entrepreneurs could only dream of getting. Being in Walmart is major, but getting into Walmart after nearly getting people sick and breaking multiple FDA guidelines is unheard of. Chef P had the deal of a lifetime with Dave's, and it sounds like she completely messed it up because of greediness. It sounds like Dave's is just trying their best to get rid of the stock and cut their losses before they lose any more money. As for Chef P, she's been spending her time shading Dave's Gourmet. She posted this video calling out Dave's for their pink sauce not being fully pink, writing, "When they tried to steal your recipe, my recipe stays the same color, but their sauce turned gray. That's what happens when you don't involve the creator. Now they're selling it for 25 cents. And yeah, okay, maybe it wasn't bright pink, but at least it didn't look like this and nearly caused people to get sick. It also sounds like Chef P is planning on releasing her pink sauce on her own and in a variety of different colors. She posted this video showing all the different color variations of the pink sauce, and I don't know if this is just supposed to be like shade towards Dave's over the color variation they had, or if she's actually planning on expanding, but she did caption the video, "POV, I'm onto better things, no more gray sauce." And she's been replying to people saying that she's working on fixing the issue with the color of her sauce. I just want to know who's actually going to buy this stuff if she really does release it again. The history of this sauce is nothing to brag about. Keeping her relationship going with Dave's would have been her best shot at success, but it sounds like that might end in a lawsuit and a reputation of being difficult to work with. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think about everything down below, and I'll see you next time.